Soft light filters through the wide windows of a conference room at Culver Studios, where director John Dahl sits across from a group of international reporters. Dressed in an ash-gray shirt, with silver hair and piercing eyes, he looks like someone who has lived his entire life in the film world, and rightly so. When asked about the uncanny chemistry between Outlander's two leads, Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe, John smiles. But it's not a smile of avoidance. It's the smile of someone who knows something special, a sweet secret behind the scenes that have captivated millions of viewers over the years. Yes, he says slowly, each word carefully chosen. I think it's time we admit it. Sam and Caitriona are really in love. And that's what's helped the show. The room falls silent for a moment. It wasn't just chemistry, he continued, it was soulmates. A quiet beginning. In 2013, as the casting process for Outlander was entering its crucial phase, John Dahl watched dozens of auditions. But it wasn't until he saw Sam and Caitriona appear together for a screen test that he knew he had found something beyond acting. They didn't need a script, John recalls. They just looked at each other. The air in the room was sucked out, the whole crew held their breath. In the early days of filming in Scotland, their chemistry was still a mystery, at least to the media. But to the crew, their concern, their eyes on each other when no one was looking, or the way they sat quietly together after each scene said it all. Love and art. Two streams merge. Filmmaking is a tough process, John says. The cold of the Highlands, the tight shooting schedule, the pressure from fans and producers. But Sam and Caitriona always make things lighter. According to the director, it is their genuine relationship that brings a real emotional depth to the film. The passionate kissing scenes, the tearful farewells, even the silent moments, all without much directorial intervention. Sometimes I just say one sentence, be yourself, and the results always exceed expectations. Especially in the climax scenes, like the farewell scene in Part 2, or the tearful reunion after 20 years apart in Part 3, it is the real emotions that make each frame touch the audience's heart. Keeping secrets in a noisy world. When asked why the two actors did not make their love story public, John just shrugged. They did not want their privacy to overshadow the work, he said. And I respect that. There was also a time when the media was abuzz about other relationships that the two were rumored to have. But according to John, it was all just smoke covering the quiet fire. They understood that keeping some privacy was a way to protect each other, and protect the magic that they had. The impact on the entire production crew. The relationship between Sam and Caitriona was positively affected by the audience, but also the entire crew. It was a warm energy that spread throughout every shoot. They never complained, a cameraman once shared. Instead, they always encouraged everyone, sometimes with a hug, a cup of hot tea, or a joke. That made the working atmosphere on set light, even during the most stressful times. Maturity and long-term commitment. According to John, Sam and Caitriona's relationship was more than just an initial infatuation. It was about growing up, learning to work together, sharing the glory and the pain. They grew up on Outlander, he says. And I believe that through that love, they became the best versions of themselves. After the show ended, there was no official statement about their relationship. But for those who worked with them, it didn't matter. Their love didn't need to be recognized by a headline. It was there in every scene, every look, every line. A final message from the director. As the interview ended, a young reporter asked, "Do you think true love between two actors is an indispensable element for a successful romantic film?" John Dahl smiled, this time without reservation. "Not necessarily. But if you're lucky enough to have that, like we did with Sam and Caitriona, then you don't just make a movie. You create magic. Behind the scenes of a love story, when the spotlight goes down." After Outlander wrapped its final season in 2023, it seemed everyone was expecting a public statement from Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe. But instead of appearing together on the red carpet, they quietly, almost deliberately, disappeared from the media spotlight. John Dahl, now back in his role as a consultant on a number of independent projects, received a handwritten letter from Sam, a few months after the show wrapped. In it, the actor wrote, "Thank you for not only directing, but for being a guiding light for us on this journey. The love between Kate and I doesn't need to be loud. It's lived, it's grown, and now it's time for us to live it, for real." John kept the letter as a sacred keepsake, hidden in the wild. No one knew exactly where Sam and Caitriona had been for almost a year after Outlander ended. It was only when a local photographer accidentally snapped a picture of them walking hand in hand around Loch Lomond one autumn morning that the old rumors were rekindled. The picture didn't show their faces, but their silhouettes were unmistakable. Sam was tall, Caitriona was slim in a gray sweater. They didn't look into the camera, nor did they make any special expressions. But the look they exchanged, even in that brief frame, told the story. A close friend of the couple, who wished to remain anonymous, told Scott's Life. They bought a little cabin in the woods, no phone, no internet. They spent the year cooking, reading, and discovering who they were, not as Jamie and Claire, but as Sam and Kate. The Silent Return. At the end of 2024, the two unexpectedly appeared at a photography exhibition in Edinburgh, where Caitriona introduced a series of photos she had taken herself, capturing everyday moments with Sam. Light filtering through the foliage, hands holding hands, hugs in the misty fields. Not a single photo clearly shows their faces, but the spirit of each photo is warm and profound to the point of choking. The exhibition title is No Dialogue, Just Love, a clever, implicit nod to the years they spent together living in characters without ever being able to live for themselves. Critics praised this as a work of art with the unique tone of mature love. No frills, no need to show off. A tender confession. In a rare interview in early 2025, Caitriona admitted to the press for the first time. "I think the best thing Outlander has given me is not the fame, but Sam." She paused, her eyes shining with undisguised happiness. "We have kept our relationship sacred, not out of fear, but because we believe that the most precious things should not be consumed by applause." Sam, in a separate interview, also confirmed, "I never needed the public to accept our relationship. I just needed her to accept me, both on screen and off. A love story that transcends time." John Dahl, upon hearing these words, simply smiled. "I always knew they were destined for each other. Like Jamie and Claire, they didn't need to be written in a script. They were a beautiful story before we started shooting." He added, his eyes shining with deep emotion, "There are loves that don't need to be loud. They smolder but never go out. And as a director, I'm proud to have captured a small part of that journey of love, so that the world can feel something real, amidst the fiction." And forever after, this year, Sam and Caitriona wrote a book together, not an autobiography, but letters they sent to each other during filming, edited and published under the name, Letters Between the Scenes. Among them, there is a letter from Sam, written after filming the scene where Jamie and Claire part ways. "You asked me why I couldn't cry during that scene. Because I know that even if Jamie loses Claire, Sam still has you. And that's why I don't cry. I know I haven't lost you, and I never will."